Boston.
Oh.
Thomas Caberlet is hot. He has 10 points in 12 games in these series against Montreal and Pittsburgh. The NHL on NBC returns here. The Bruins and the Penguins next. Game 6 here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. And it's won there by Brad Marchand. Into the corner it went for Letang. Played back along and it skipped on back to Martin. Crosby is not back. A shot that deflected to the glass. And it came back. Well, Pittsburgh would like to win this to force a Game 7 back in Boston on a Saturday afternoon at TD Garden. Back here on NBC. Here's Cook with it. Cook moving on in. Who injured Mark Savard back in March of 2010. Cook a shot that deflected wide. Here's Marchand with it. Brad Marchand, who's been a very big surprise for the Boston Bruins. Krejci threw it back along and it deflected. And Lucic tried to pick it up, who has 42 goals to end the season this year for the Boston Bruins. They're definitely favorite now in the Eastern Conference now that Philadelphia and Washington were both eliminated from the playoffs. Here's Kennedy, picked up by Seidenberg and brought back in by Thomas Caberlet, who throws it down low. Krejci controls it, throws it down to Lucic, across the crease, couldn't get across as Engelland made a good hit. Kovalev with it. Kovalev moving on in, it's dropped back to Neal, a shot that's turned aside by Thomas. McCulloch picked it up in a foot race with David Krejci. He couldn't get it. And now here's Neal. Neal moving on in. He throws it across. A good block. Another save by Thomas. Krejci throws it off the boards to himself. He throws it on in and it's kicked on back. And Engelland is pinned up against the wall with Lucic. Jeffrey with it. Throws it across to Engelland. Pittsburgh has dropped 3 straight to the Bruins after having a 2-0 series lead. There's a shot. Talbot's turned aside by Thomas. Jeffrey with it. Throws it for Neal. Neal in front. Lucic bringing it back up. Here's Milan Lucic. Lucic a drive that's stopped by Fleury. And a penalty call. It's against Boston. Lucic will go to the penalty box. Stahl on the draw with Gregory Campbell. This whole Boston team has grown off of everybody. And Brad Marchand will have a penalty shot. The youngster for the Boston Bruins. Brad Marchand moving in on Fleury. Marchand, score! Brad Marchand, the Bruins have taken the 1-0 lead on a shorthanded penalty shot goal by Brad Marchand. Kennedy won the draw. Caberlet pinned him up against the wall. It's thrown back across to Zbynek McCulloch. Here's Recchi here, a shorthanded bit. A 1-on-2 Recchi. He got hit hard. Bergeron played it back to the point. Bruins, it's all Boston right now in a shorthanded opportunity. Pittsburgh on the power play. Still a minute something left on the power play here. Kennedy throws it across. Jeffrey saved by Thomas. It's played back to McCulloch. A good block by Recchi, the former Pittsburgh Penguin and Philadelphia Flyer. Where hasn't this guy played? Stahl with it. He dumped it on in. McCulloch played it. Chara with a good stick lift and threw it back out for Brad Marchand, who has a goal in this game. Marchand with the speed there. Marchand trying to go to the outside. A good save by Fleury. Jeffrey with it. Threw it to Jordan Stahl. Played it back to Niskanen in front of Kovalev. To Stahl, it went off the glass. And then Marchand threw it back, but a bad turnover there. Played back to McCulloch, a shot that went to the glass. Everybody thought it was off. Oh, saved by Thomas to cut down the angle. David Krejci with it. Krejci dropped it off. He tried to throw it and leave it for Johnny Boychuk, but he couldn't do it. Neal gets hit hard by Chara. Well, that's a legit hit, and you can call that. There's a shot. Kovalev a shot that deflected wide. Neal with it. Played back. Neal threw it back to Kovalev. Kovalev to the point. Threw it. Letang a shot that's stopped by Thomas, and a lot of traffic in front of the net there. Neal with it. Still 3 minutes to go in the first period. Boston had dominated earlier, but are getting dominated at this point. Horton with it. Horton tried to throw it. He was acquired on sometime in August from the Florida Panthers in exchange for Dennis Weidman, who was then traded to Washington at the trade deadline. Here's Kovalev, who was also acquired at the trade deadline for Pittsburgh, who got him all the way to this round. Neal with it in the corner. Played it back to Martin. A drive that stopped off. It didn't get to Thomas, though. And here's a chance for a transition here for Mark Recchi. Recchi threw it down low. It's played back to Rich Peverly. Peverly in front! Save! Fleury! .5.9 to go here in Pittsburgh in the first period of a Game 6, what Pittsburgh must have unless they want to have a good summer. This could be it for Pittsburgh. All the people have gone to the bathrooms. And here's Jeffrey, a shot that's stopped by Thomas, no whistle, and that'll do it. So after one, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh and Boston here in a Game 6 that Pittsburgh must have. Well, not too much effort from Pittsburgh, but only a little bit to show for Boston right now. Stahl won the draw against Patrice Bergeron. Martin threw it on in. Here's Brad Marchand. Marchand kept it off the half boards, a shot that deflected to the glass. Tyler Kennedy threw it along, and Martin hit hard. Sagan a shot. Sagan still has not got his first playoff goal, but is eager to get it. That's why Claude Julien threw him out on the line with Bergeron and Marchand, and took Recchi and put him on the third line. Thrown in by Matt Cook. Recchi, 42 years old, but you'd never know it the way he plays. Zbynek McCulloch in center ice, throws it into the corner. Played by Chara, and then thrown back to the point. Engel and Letestu with it. In the slot, Neal a shot that's fought off by Thomas. Here's Patrice Bergeron. Bergeron, a good move. Played it down low to Sagan, a shot that's stopped by Fleury and held. Only 5 minutes gone here in the second. A shot that deflected off Fleury. And a lot of traffic in front of it. The NHL returns to NBC. The NHL returns to NBC on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, where the Pittsburgh Penguins battle the Boston Bruins in an afternoon battle. And it's to be determined who is in the nightcap, but there definitely will be a nightcap because there is some series that are only in the fifth game still. Love